I enjoyed watching your lesson today. Thank you for allowing me to come to your classroom. If you don't mind, just tell me the standards that you used during that lesson.
So we're really focused on our magic E, or silent E. We want to decode that and encode that.
Okay, thank you. Now, what instructional strategies did you use to ensure that all your students was mastering the skills taught?
I really tried to use the multisensory techniques that we've learned from Orton Gillingham training. You should have seen some whiteboards. I hope you got a chance to really observe that from us. We used the whiteboards, and then we did do a few students with the sand.
Okay, thank you. Which of those strategies do you feel increased the student engagement during the literacy lesson?
I think for me, the whiteboard works better because I have more control over it. The sand, I feel I would do better with as a small group, just because it gets a little exciting for them, and I'm afraid maybe that might be an area to work on, but I'm not really comfortable giving the whole group sand.
Yeah, and that may be something you want to work toward, because it would be beneficial, and that way they can see you have all the different learners and the different learning styles all working together to accomplish that one skill. So, what evidence do you have that your small group interventions is improving your student achievement? What do you use as evidence?
So I like to use some of this work where they have encoded the words that we, kind of like spelling, a spelling test. I dictated it to them, and they've written it out. And then we have these where they've had to do the same thing, but we did a little bit of a word chaining where they're changing those vowels in that magic E. And to me, that helps determine, are they really grasping that skill? Can we move forward, especially when we're word chaining? Are they able to change the right sound in the word?
Yeah, okay. Can you show me an example of where you've differentiated the lesson for a learner?
Okay, so on this one, you see, like, I really wrote in a few of the letters for them. This child struggles with that vowel sound for I and E a lot, so I went ahead, and if it were an I and E word, and I gave them the lines for each sound as well.
Okay, and I did notice when you was using the whiteboards earlier that you did differentiate, and instead of just telling the kid you messed up, you gave them a chance to correct their own learning.
Right,
so I really appreciated that.
Thank you.
And as far as technology, I didn't really see any technology being used in this lesson, but how do you think you could have incorporated technology in a Magic E lesson like this?
So I've tried, and I haven't been very successful in doing so, or I haven't really followed through with it a lot. But some of my lessons, I do a slideshow where we kind of introduce the sound, maybe even a video. I've considered maybe some song videos beforehand, maybe a digital blending board. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I was in another classroom earlier, and they had a touch board game, so the kids could actually manipulate the different phonemes in the word. And as I watched your lesson, I thought that would be good for you. So I will definitely get you connected with that teacher, and maybe y'all can brainstorm how you could use it in the Magic E.
That would be really good.
Okay, and how do you know that this activities that you did this morning, how do you know that it achieved your goals, the objectives you had for this lesson?
For this one, I mean, this being kind of our middle of the week skill, I'd like to see that more than half of my class seem to have a solid grasp on it, where we're reaching maybe an 80% on this dictation here. And through looking at all of it, I believe that we have gotten that far, and of course by the end of this week, I'm hopeful that number increases.
Okay. And is there anything else that you feel you could be doing to ensure that even the strugglers are going to master this skill?
I think going back to what I said about the sand, I know there's a few other techniques that you've mentioned with, like, maybe that the screen or something, writing it with the screen, and I'm just not sure. I think as a newer teacher, I'm just not sure about how to incorporate that. Like, how do I if I'm doing it as a whole group, can I differentiate and just do some of the students with that and
Yeah.
some of the students with a marker board? Should that be more of a small group lesson?
Yeah, and if you're open to it, I would love to come in and model a whole group and a small group lesson using those different things that you're still not as familiar with,
Mhm.
if you would be open to
Yeah,
that.
yes, that would be great.
Okay. Lastly, what is your next steps? Going from here and looking at all this data that you have laid out, what do you feel like the next step would be?
I think I would like to, for some of these students, to start, instead of just doing a single C consonant at the front of these words, doing maybe some blends. And then even further on this week, maybe dictating full sentences with some CVC and seeing how we do with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, thanks again for letting me
Yes, ma'am.
watch you today, and we'll get together about the model lessons.
Good, thank you so much.